Welcome back, everybody. We're about to hop into our third and final adventure of the evening entitled The Black Cat. But before we do so, as always, we are going to introduce our adventurers here. So without further ado, and we have, interestingly enough, a full party of brand new adventurers here. So first up, we have, fresh into Bartholomew's adventure group, we have Throom. Am I saying that right, Throom?
Yes, this is how you pronounce my name.
And Throom, welcome to the lands of DnDTime. Would you like to tell me a little bit about yourself and maybe why you've kind of taken up an adventuring lifestyle here among Bartholomew's adventuring troupe?
Well, I tend to feel slightly more at home among cities, and in the small green spaces therein, I do travel from city to city, trying to find as many of these small, quiet places in areas that can be quite chaotic from time to time, but find the small oases of peace.
And I imagine in some ways that comes from your home. Is for anyone who is unfamiliar, you are a Loxodon, which is an elephant person, correct?
Correct. I am an elephant person.
How does walking around? I imagine you're fairly large as a person who's kind of a humanoid elephant. Do you have trouble in urban areas getting through spaces or things designed for you always, or?
There are some times where I do have to watch my head going through doors and sometimes going down hallways, but I find that it's not often too bad as long as I'm staying out of the cities of the very small folk.
And Throom, what is your skill set? What do you kind of bring to the table as an adventurer?
I tend to be more of a druid, and I just go around finding these little bastions of nature in cities all over. And I have found my way here and found Bartholomew's little corner of the world.
Well, excellent. Bartholomew certainly will be happy to have you amongst his adventuring crew. And Throom, welcome to the lands of DnDTime.
Thank you very much.
Of course. In that case, next up, we have joining us, as I said, we are all new heroes right now. We have Diane Rott. Hello, Diane.
Hello there, Bartholomew.
I'm not Bartholomew. My name is Pete. It's very nice to meet you, Diane. Yes. Now, Diane, tell me a little bit about yourself and what brings you to the lands of DnDTime.
Well, I'm a former source. I can mainly be found in some certain bars in Central City. And, well, I came to Bartholomew to hopefully hone some of my talent.
And tell me, what is your particular talents that you're looking to hone? What are they?
I'm what some might call a drag queen. I perform as a female with exaggerated features, of course, but.
And you what kind of, I suppose your talents are that, but what adventuring abilities do you have that are going to kind of make you effective as a warrior amongst Bartholomew's adventuring troupe?
I've been told that I have quite the skill as a bard, so.
You're a bard. So do you play like a musical instrument, or are you more of a singer? What's your ability?
I'm more of a singer, but I have other talents, a joke here or there.
All right. Well, in that case, Diane, I look forward to seeing what you can do. Welcome to the lands of DnDTime. And next up, we have joining us this evening, we have Valraith Windrunner. Did I say your name correct, Valraith?
Of course you did. How great to meet you today.
It is great to meet you as well. Valraith, also a brand new adventurer here. Now, tell me, Valraith, what are you doing here in the lands of DnDTime? What's your story? Tell me about yourself.
Well, there was a great famine near the swamp, and the blight took out my entire village. I was the last one left, and well, then called upon me and told me about the cloud, and well, somehow. So I'm out here, out, and hopefully one of these days I'll be able to meet you, Chunkus, so I can be one of those hunters or something. I don't know. I don't know.
And you're looking to bring down heretics, is what you're saying.
Something like that, I think.
Yeah. And why now are you kind of taking up this adventuring lifestyle?
Well, I was helping Crixus when he was traveling, learning my craft, and well, told me that now was the right time.
Now, I have kind of seen Crixus a couple of times recently, and I know that Crixus is in possession of a very powerful weapon, which he himself is, not necessarily capable of wielding. Are you the chosen one?
And I hold up the bow and the sword.
Yeah, and you see as Valraith holds up a sword that looks like it was made for a god, and those are the ones that I'm referring to, Valraith. I have no doubt that you will find quite a bit of success here as an adventurer.
I think so. This sword right here is just ridiculously well crafted. And this bow, look at how magnificent it is. It's almost like created it just perfectly.
It is a magnificent piece indeed. Valraith, welcome. I think
put those back up. And
heretics have
grab
something
and then I just jump away.
All right. And farewell for now. And last but not least, we have Waiyubi joining us. Hello, Waiyubi.
Hello, Pete.
Waiyubi, would you care to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am Waiyubi, a lesser Kuatoa god of endurance and long-suffering. I was born by famine, yet my people have forgotten me in times of plenty. I have sought to find a new people to regain my strength.
So, Waiyubi, you're a god?
Indeed.
And, well, it sounds like you're a little bit out of your normal kind of divine power, but Waiyubi, I mean, it's an honor to be in your presence as a divine being. Now, tell me, Waiyubi, you said you were the god of, could you remind me what your particular realm is?
Endurance and long-suffering.
Endurance and long-suffering. Is that something that are you a god of protecting individuals from that kind of thing, or do you inflict that upon people?
I am born by those who wished to extol such virtues.
Waiyubi, if I'm being honest, you do frighten me a little bit, but also it is a joy to have you here amongst the adventures of Bartholomew's adventure trip.
It is good to find a place of people.
I hope that you. I hope that you're able to find, well, new followers, as it seems like that's what you're looking for. And welcome, Waiyubi. So, without further ado, let our adventure tonight begin. Where we begin, you find yourself standing around Bartholomew's shop. The four of you kind of amble in, and it's it's getting on to the day, and Bartholomew looks at you all as you kind of are walking in. Oh, thank God. All right, we have something of a situation on our head. I don't know any of you. Hold on a second. And he kind of thinks for a while, and he opens his eyes, and you see his eyes kind of flash blue, and he goes, all right, Throom, Diane, Valraith, Waiyubi. Excellent. So, You're here to adventure, I have to assume, if you are here now.
Yes, at least
That
I
is
am.
correct.
Yes, same for you too, or are you just signing up, just looking for... Because I have a job right now.
I believe you called us, but yes, we're ready.
Oh, yes,
Yes,
but I
I
have
am.
flyers all over the place. Sometimes they do talk directly to people, so it can be confusing, but I don't necessarily monitor all those all the time. It's a complicated system. Yes, so... Good. I'm glad that you're here. We have something of a heist in progress. Apparently up in Central... Well, time loss is the further this particular thief has escaped. So I'm just going to send you on your way. Can you guys just sign here, all of you? And he hands all of you the standard adventuring contract for the adventurers that work in Bartholomew's shop. Quick perusals of it carry with it a lot of implications that, one, you will be resurrected if you die. There are certain limitations on payment, access to shop and teleportation rights, things like that. There's a lot of fine print, but he hands them around. Do you guys all want to sign up to become official Bartholomew's Adventuring Troop adventurers?
Throom just kind of dips his trunk into the ink and plops it down on the contract.
Excellent.
Waiyubi will cut his right hand and just leave like a Dark Brotherhood style bloody handprint in the middle of the page.
Very good. Valraith, Diane.
I will sign with a big smiley face, and then I'm gonna take a small like pin like that you'd use for sewing and pierce the contract with a skin roll up.
Fair enough. And you, Diane?
Signs her name with a flourish.
With a what?
Flourish.
Excellent. Yeah, because
You know,
finally,
like
so-
a signature.
It's nice to see someone just use ink.
Or autograph.
He looks at you, Diane. It's nice just when someone just does it regular. And all the contracts just kind of fizzle away, and he goes, excellent! And he claps his hands, and all of a sudden you all find yourself transported instantly. And as soon as you arrive, you kind of find yourself another clap, and you're back in the shop, and he goes, I forgot to tell you what you were doing. You need to go to the museum. It's an emergency now. He claps his hand again, and you find yourself once more on the streets. And you can see in the distance, you're on the streets of Central City, one of the most populous regions. One of the most populous regions here in the land of DnDTime. Tall buildings abound. You can see various motorized carts and things moving by. People bustle and move about. And not far, you can see a huge kind of granite building that reads the Museum of Mayors. And there's a bit of a commotion coming out of it. You hear an individual laughing very loudly. He's calling out, ha ha ha, you'll never catch me. Now that I'm outside, the Black Cat's got the run of the city. And he's kind of running away with a big, carrying a bunch, like a strange umbrella and a bunch of different stuff in his hands. He is a relatively overweight, kind of middle-aged looking man with 5 o'clock shadow and in a skin-tight black cat jumpsuit with a little cat mask over his eyes. It also looks like he's got whiskers painted on, and he's kind of like now running off the street very quickly, and you can see 2 figures, one of them dressed in a very fine blue suit. She has kind of a big elaborate hat with a flourish, which any of you who have been to Central City recognize as Mayor Dorothy Parker, and the museum curator are outside kind of like chasing, but realizing that this individual is significantly quicker than them. That is the scene that you all come into. What do you all do?
Throom kind of grabs his head a little bit, shakes it out, and watches. Aren't we supposed to be going to a museum for some big commotion? Isn't that a museum, and isn't that a big commotion?
I could be wrong here, but I believe that man in the cat suit and poorly made cat mask is the one we're supposed to go at.
Is this all about a cat burglar? I was looking at some happy little clouds.
The cat burglar stole the happy little cloud.
Oh, well.
If you want them back, you'll have to catch him.
Far away is the cat burglar?
At this point, the cat burglar is kind of running down the street, and they are ducking. They're maybe 80, 90 feet away at this point, but there's heavy kind of crowd traffic that they're moving through, so it's very hard to get a clear shot.
Oh, that's easy. Pull out the kite shield. I'm jumping double. 30 feet.
You're just gonna jump upwards, kind of 30 feet.
No, I'm gonna.
Wait, you said you could jump 30 feet? What?
Jump.
Oh,
Remember?
the kite shield. Yes, of course. You watch as this individual Valraith's shield. It's shaped in the form of a kite, and it just kind of floats upwards. And all of a sudden, with one hand kind of holding onto the kite, Valraith jumps up alongside of it, and you have ridiculous jumps. How does that work again?
Use an action, or use your movement to move 30 feet. I'll just double that 2 times.
So you're gonna dash after? All right, cool. So you begin jumping and bounding over. Valraith's already on the chase. You see the mayor and the curator kind of running up as they see Valraith kind of moving above the crowd and beginning pursuit of this escaping burglar. They kind of run up to the kind of rest of you, and they see Valraith kind of come from this spot, and they all shout. They both kind of shout at you, Dorothy Parker. This individual is completely interrupting. Well, the creation. You see, it's a long story, but overall, they're putting together currently a museum in honor of. And the curator's kind of cutting her off and goes, "Apprehend him. We'll pay you in full." And they just point at the black cat who's escaping.
Give chase.
All right. All of you can also take an action if you would like. You've seen Valraith kind of jump off and get the head start, but if the rest of you want to do something as well, you can.
Throom will trumpet and then dash off in that direction.
All right. Yeah, your horn lets out a whatever your horn trumpet sounds
My
like.
trunk.
Your trumpet. Yeah, I said your trunk lets out a trumpet sound, and you begin working your way through the crowd. Diane and Waiyubi?
Diane is dashing after the
Excellent.
cat burglar.
Same thing with you, Waiyubi?
Dashing off. I'll
Right.
keep an eye on Valraith since he has better advantage.
All right, in this case, I would like you all to roll for initiative. Oh wait, where's my track? Did it not come in?
Look at that.
Ooh dear.
There we go.
I seem to be slightly lumbering today.
We got a slow start.
All right. Yeah, and he is also going to roll for initiative. The black cat will. He rolls a 6. He is going to go ahead and he is going to go ahead and expend the crit that he previously stole from Core in the last adventure to get a natural 20 as an initiative and go first. And with that, he's going to just continue to push through the crowd. You hear him he sees you jump up with the kite shield, like moving and completely circumnavigating the crowd. The rest of you are having a little bit of a rough time pushing through some of the bodies. Perhaps not Throom, who's so large. People are kind of just clearing out of your way, as well as they are seemingly clearing out of this individual's way as well, but not intentionally. With every step he takes, it looks like the world is just opening up for him accidentally. There's one person that's kind of like skateboarding in his path who just trips and is about to like crash into him, but you see them trip on a crack and the skateboard tumbles over. Right as another person's about to walk in his path, you see someone tap them on the shoulder, and they stop, turning around, allowing the black cat to move through. He sprints through and kind of curves down into an alley without any impeded movement in his way. This person is blessed by the fates. And he goes, "See you later, fools!" and he kind of turns and disappears down a side alley. What do the rest of you want to do?
Spread down and give chase.
All right. So the first to act of this is you, Waiyubi. You're kind of trying to like muscle your way through the crowd, but they're very much in your way. How do you kind of navigate the crowd in this manner? Otherwise, it'll be difficult terrain unless you can do something to kind of push your way through.
I will extend my right arm and the tendrils therein, kind of going out of my way to knock down anyone who would get in my path, basically force clearing.
Are you using a particular ability or just trying to like push, basically shove people?
I'm using my whip to kind of muscle my way through.
All right. Go ahead. In that case, I'll let you make an athletics check to kind of bustle and push your way through. 10. All right. Yeah. The crowd is, you're doing your best to push people out of your way, and that's effective. And as people are seeing you with this strange tentacle, a lot of people are also just like, oh, and they kind of back off. But you're still a bit impeded. You lose. You're not at full difficult terrain, but you lose 5 feet of movement on each of your dash actions. You make it 50 feet. You're on the other side, but you don't. Basically, you're at the entrance into the alley, and you can see him further up ahead running down it.
Okay.
In that case, that's going to bring us around next initiative to, oh my god, the 543. It's going to bring us to Valraith. Valraith, you are basically flying over the crowd, so you got a full 60 feet if you want to just jump up.
Boom.
All right, you do in 2 mighty hops. You see this kite shield whoop, up and then down, and then up and then down, and all of a sudden you are now standing in the alley. You're about 10 feet in, and you're relatively close to the black cat at this point. But as you land, he's going to use his ready to action, and he just kind of looks back at you and he goes, "Ha ha! Portable hole!" And he throws right at your feet a portable hole. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw as you land.
I think that might work.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and use his reaction to steal your roll of 17 or 18. He's going to use his reaction to steal your 18. Please re-roll.
Doesn't his ready to action take his reaction?
Oh, you're correct.
Yes,
He can't.
it would.
I'm sorry. That is my mistake. I just got used to him doing it, so he was just doing it. You got me there. In that case, your 21 stands. You do have a minus 1d4 penalty to it, as all of you do because of this feature. But that 21, that minus 1d4 isn't going to mess with the save. You land safely. Down on the other side.
Here's the portable hole.
The portable hole is just now at your feet.
Pick it up.
All right. Well, you can use an action on your turn because it takes an action for the portable hole, and you had to dash to get there, so you can do it on your next turn if you wanted to. And that's all for your turn, I assume. Do you have a bonus action?
Nah, I'm good.
All right. In that case, let's move us next on to. Was it Diane next? Yes. What do you want to do, Diane?
Well, let's see. Can I do anything to the crowd of? Hey, let's see. This to it?
What are you trying to do?
I was looking at a spell that might. This could go very bad, but I'm going to use Earth Tremor to try and clear some of the people in front of me.
Try and knock some of the people from your path.
Yes.
Wait.
So I'm gonna have. Can you put that spell up for me, just so I know what it is? Does that hurt people?
Yeah. Yes, it does. It does damage.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Yeah, put it up then.
like I just said, I did it very bad.
All right. I mean, I'm just gonna roll for the crowd collectively. The crowd has no bonus to dexterity. Oh, the crowd succeeds. You watch as the ground begins to shake, but maybe it's just knowing that you're just gonna hurt a bunch of innocents. That kind of, for the most part, it leaves people unbothered. The ground shakes, and people are kind of like, "Whoa, earthquake!" But most people kind of remain standing, so you're not going to be able to kind of clear too much out with that particular earth tremor.
They still take 2 damage, unfortunately. But
Is it a half on a success?
yes, half and they're not prone.
Oh my god.
My.
Yeah, okay, in that case, you watch as the ground shakes and, what's the area of this? Oh, is this a spell? I thought this was a cantrip. Is this like a spell?
It's a spell.
Oh, jeez. What's the area?
I believe 10 feet.
All right. Yeah, you watch the ground shake and 8 people that are just walking around in this region because it's a pretty tight city street, tightly packed. They fall and a lot of them break major bones. And,
Oh no, it's 5 foot, but
these are commoners with commoner hit points, so they get seriously hurt, and despite they're not knocked prone, a lot of them do still fall over because it's so dense. And yeah, you definitely clear a path for yourself with this. You've hurt a lot of people and definitely killed 1 or 2.
Oh, scurvy and rickets.
Alright, so
that's what you get for standing in the way.
some person kind of looks back at you and just goes, "You could have asked." And you move over.
No time.
And you get forward. It's your path is cleared. You kind of get up to the area where Lance. Oh, you only because it's your action to do this. And I think I kind of gave people actions with their other ones, so I think I'll give you the full 60 feet. So you get up to kind of where, get up to where Plunder is.
Actually, if I'm dashing, I can only move up to 25.
Oh yes, you're right next to in that case.
Because I'm undead.
I forgot, you shamble. So yeah, you're right up next to Waiyubi. This is why Undead get a bad rap. As we move next in initiative to, as we move...
Our large friend who
Yeah, Throom.
now has a
I'm kind of afraid of you, but what do you do?
Either way.
Throom trumpets again and just shouts, "Everybody move!"
The classic Andre the Giant move. I
Yes.
need to make an intimidation check. 10. All right. Yeah, you're going through, and everybody gets out of your way except for you see one kind of cantankerous-looking old lady who goes, "I ain't moving for you. You think you can scare us just because you're big? Don't mean to get to be rude." And she kind of stops you for a moment. What do you do?
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I must catch him and point off after the black cat. And
Why? My problem. I gotta go get bread at the store.
keep him.
I just kind
And you
of
shuffle past her.
Yeah.
But her presence in your way did slow you down, similarly to the manner in which Waiyubi was slowed down. So you do lose about 5 feet, or on each of your moves. So you're right up next to Waiyubi as you end. As we go around to the top of initiative.
And I will also, with my bonus action, cast Shillelagh on my staff.
All right. Yeah, as a bonus action, your staff becomes empowered with magical nature energy, and yeah, you're all now in the alleyway, and you can all see the black cat kind of running down into this space, and the black cat immediately kind of goes, "All right, going up," and he just takes out of. He just seems to produce it from. He just seems to kind of produce it from. Like a hole seems to open in reality next to him, and he just pulls out this rope, and then the rope just kind of extends upwards into the air, and once it kind of goes up, it begins furling, bringing him with it, as he climbs upwards onto a nearby building, about 30 feet above you. And he goes, "See you later, suckers! Stop following me, by the way." And As he's kind of leaning back, he kind of goes to walk away onto that rooftop, and then he shouts out again, "Really, don't follow me! The black cat never gets caught! You're wasting your time!" And then he turns around and walks again off the into the area on the roof. And the rope, which was just kind of dangling in the air, kind of disappears. And as the rope disappears, Plunder, you also see that portable hole vanish as well.
All right.
And it's your turn. But wait, no, I'm sorry, it's Waiyubi's turn.
Yep.
My mistake.
There wouldn't happen to be a conveniently located fire escape on the building he just climbed up.
There is not a fire escape. There is a pipe. Not as good as a fire escape. It requires more climbing.
Beggars can't be choosers. I will run over and begin to attempt ascending. I might be a bit on the heavy side, so I'll leave trying to hitch a ride on the flyboy to the dragon, and
the pipe is pretty, like, it's not like it's like a very solid pipe. It's like maybe a 5-foot radius thing that you could kind of like put your arms around it if you wanted to do it. It would definitely support you.
and go.
If you want.
Let's climb up the pipe.
Athletics away.
And I don't have eyes on the black cat, so I don't have to worry about that nasty death.
It's concealed on the roof at the moment. 13, that is the bare minimum. As you're kind of going onto it, you find that there are like a lot of handholds in places where the pipe has like heavy bolts into it that you're able to grab onto. You climb up. Do you want to dash up to the top?
I will put all my move and all my dash in.
All right. Yeah, so you climb up to the top. Your movement speed is 30, right?
Yes.
All right, you climb up to the top, and as you get to the top, you can see that the black cat is just kind of chilling on the roof, looking away, kind of looking off into the distance, just planning, and he kind of turns around as he hears you climb to the top, and he goes, "Hey, didn't I specifically tell you not to follow?"
I am not one to take orders.
And he just kind of like shakes his head a little bit, and he goes, "Your mistake," and that's all for your turn, as you've now gotten onto the roof, and you're very close to the black cat, who was a little overconfident at your ability to pursue. And that's going to bring us next to, now it is Valraith.
I'm gonna use the kite shield.
All right. So with merely an action, you jump upwards, and just the roof is 30 feet up. Can you go 30 feet high?
30 feet of movement is what it is.
All right, you just jump up onto it with your incredible magic item that you have here. The kite shield guides you up into the air, and you touch down gently onto the rooftop. And the black cat kind of looks over at you. "Oh man, another one!"
Close am I to him?
You are, at this point, about 10 feet away.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I think the time for talking is over. It's a bonus action to turn all blade into a halberd.
All right. Can you use the kite shield as a move action, or can you only dash as an action? So I'm curious if you still have your action.
It was a move action.
Okay, I didn't know if the kite shield could be used as a move action, or if you had to do the thing with it.
It's the move action, yeah.
All right, cool. And so, since it's two-handed on the halberd, you let the kite shield just kind of fall down to the ground?
I have it kind of like a little sling to where I can, like a belt to where it just swing down behind me.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, the halberd is wielded now. You pull it out. You got your bonus action. You transform it to it. What does it look like when the all blade transforms into the halberd?
Just kind of has like this tense light for just like a quick second on the blade, and then it just a mist, and it's that new weapon. Excellent. In that case, I also need you to roll me a D4 as you're attacking the black cat while looking at him, so you're subject to his bad luck. $12. All right. You go in and swing, and you're just about to get to him, and
Actually, you know what? Yeah, he's not even gonna do anything about it. Yeah, he's just gonna take the damage. Go ahead and roll damage on that. For 4 points of... It should be higher than that with the All Blade, shouldn't it?
You get to re-roll that because it's a two-handed weapon.
Yep, sure do.
Oh, no!
Yep.
Well...
Ones and twos, I get to
go
roll.
with the 5. So you hit him for 5 points of slashing damage. You kind of see him not even bothering to block you as he's just kind of staring at you. He goes, "Trust me, you can't." And then you kind of cut him across the waist, and he gets a little bit of a drop of blood, and it kind of like pours down. He goes, "Oh, you can't hit me. I didn't even feel it." And you also see he has like an arrow wound about his shoulder that's still sort of festering that he received earlier, or really just a moment ago in the long term. And that's actually also still probably got some fresh blood coming out of it from the time frame. So yeah, you hit him for a little chunk there. And anything else on your turn?
That is all.
It's a pretty good turn. As we move next in initiative 2, that's going to be Diane. What do you want to do, Diane? You're at the base. There's the pipe that you can climb up if you wish to do so.
I will climb up the pipe.
You can make acrobatics or athletics together.
I will do acrobatics.
All right. 22, not an issue. You kind of swing around on the big kind of joints of the pipe and make your way up to the top. You're actually a little bit slower though. Your movement speed is halved because you're climbing. So you're end your turn almost at the top of the pipe because of the your speed.
All right.
And you have a bonus action still, assuming that you're dashing. I assumed that you wanted to dash, but there's something else. Okay, cool. Do you have a bonus action?
No. I'm going to use my
Alright.
bonus action.
In that case, Throom, what would you like to do?
Is it going to be difficult to climb past Diane?
It's relatively wide. You might be able to just kind of like go over Diane. It's gonna be close. It will be like maybe a little bit more difficult than a normal climb, but not impossible by any means.
Well, then I shall climb up the pipe.
All right, do it up. Oof, a 9.
Oof.
All right. You begin your climb upwards, and as you're going, with your elephantine hands, it's a little bit, some of these handholds are maybe just a little bit small for you, and as you're kind of pulling on one, it breaks away, and you fall down 10 feet. Oh my god, and you take a full 6 points of bludgeoning damage as you kind of crash down. Oh, sorry, you get to make a dexterity saving throw to see if you are able to catch yourself or if you just fall. So you always get to catch yourself. Yeah, you're unable to catch yourself. You fall down the 10 feet and take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as your kind of butt hits the ground hard.
Ow.
And yeah, that handhold is kind of like broken off at this point. Yeah, that's your action. You still have a move action. You can try and get like halfway up again if you want to, or you can do something else. If you have another.
Yeah. Throom is going to try to get halfway up.
All right, go ahead and try again. I wish you the best of luck.
Another athletics?
Yep.
Oh no!
You're good at that too. I need you to make me another dex save to try and catch yourself. 11. All right, so you barely managed to hold on. Your hands are like gripping, and you're not very far up the pipe, and your hands are kind of like gripping and about to fall off. And meanwhile, is there anything else? You have a bonus action still if you'd like to use it.
No, I think I'm keeping on, and I probably will wrap my trunk around the pipe as best as I can, just to try to give myself that little extra bit of security. All
right. In that case, that's going to bring us around to the top of the initiative, which is going to be the Black Cat. And the Black Cat kind of looks at all of you, and he steps across the roof. He's going to move away from you, provoking an opportunity attack.
Really?
Yep. And you kind of go to swing at him, and he is. Does he want that? No, he doesn't want your crit fail. You go to swing at him, and right as you do so, you feel like you're not sure if maybe someone beneath the roofs just suddenly started cooking, or they lit like their fireplace, but a chimney on the top of this building suddenly kind of plumes up with smoke and it puffs out, obscuring your view. And he just kind of steps away from you easily as you swing into the smoke, confused. And he kind of steps over to the edge of the roof. The smoke kind of clears and you see him now, and he looks over at the group of you, and he goes, "Well, it looks like the chase is on then, folks. For the last time, see you later, chumps." And going back down the same way that he just kind of climbed up with his rope, you see him just kind of hold his hands out and fall backwards onto the roof as he's going to make an acrobatics check, which is no bonus to him. And he just kind of falls backward off the roof, but then you see kind of down from below, as he begins to fall, well, he has the four of you kind of looking at him as he's going past you. So that's actually gonna be a 17 that he rolled there. And then as he rolls that 17, you just see rounding the corner, moving very quickly, is what looks like an entire train of carts. All of them seem to just be toting around what looks like cargoes of pillows. And as he falls backwards, he just lands in a giant cart that's moving at a pretty brisk pace, filled with pillows, and falls unharmed. These carts are all zipping past right where you are now. You guys can see them from the pipes. You guys on the roof can't quite see the things below. You just see them like tip backwards off the building. And yeah, he's kind of zipping away, and he goes, "Bye-bye!" And those carts are now just kind of zipping down the road. You guys are actually a little bit closer. There's a whole train of them. What would you care to do as it passes next onto your turn, Waiyubi?
Are there like individuals guiding each of these carts, or are they horse-drawn or person carried?
They're horse-drawn and there's individuals guiding them. It looks like there's 5 or 6 of them here.
Okay.
The whole train
Let's
of them
start
coming
this
down the
off.
valley right now.
Jumping down to land in one of them.
All right, go ahead and make me a acrobatics check to try and target your aim perfectly into one of these pillow carts, as the black cat did. Ooh! Why do you have a +/-1? Oh, are you looking at the black cat? You can like.
No, I just forgot to turn off the bad luck.
In this moment, you can like at any time. Keep in mind the way the bad luck feature works. Like, if you are actively not looking at, you can say that like I'm not looking at him for this, and you won't be, and he won't gain any benefits from you looking at him until the round. So in this case, I think it's fair because he's like off. You can just focus on what you're doing and not see him. So you jump down. That applies to everyone for the rest of this. You jump down and you watch as Waiyubi just kind of lands softly in one of these pillow carts. You can see the black cat's a little bit up ahead and just kind of goes, "Damn." And the drivers now also, as they're kind of driving and moving pretty quickly, whatever their business is, they're also starting to make mistakes just because of his presence here. And you see a lot of the drivers' parts are kind of starting to like wobble and like hit stone, including the one that even he's on. Yeah, that's all. Is it all? Or that's just a move action. You still have an action, Waiyubi. What do you want to do?
How far up ahead of me is he?
You got down 2 carts behind him, so he's about 20 feet right now.
Excellent. I will look up at him, kind of avert my eyes for this, and with my left arm, you will see a large spine come out, which I will take with my right arm, break off, and with my eyes averted, I will throw this spine at him.
All right, if you want to attack him with eyes averted, you will be at disadvantage on the attack roll, keep in mind.
17.
That is a 12 that you rolled. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and make you re-roll, as he's going to use his reaction to take your 12 to be used at a later time.
Do I still have disadvantage on the double, or
Fortunately, you actually do, yeah. An 11. The 11 is going to actually still hit. Nice roll. Or not nice roll, but nice barely roll. As you hit him for 7 points of piercing damage, the javelin flies forward and just, oh god, no, I'm gonna feel that one. I'm just stealing stuff, you guys. You don't have to kill me or anything. Arrest is fine. Non-lethal force. How about that? He calls out to you, Waiyubi.
If that's how you wish to surrender.
Which it seems like you're not a fan of. As we move next, initiative 2, it is Valraith next, I believe. Valraith, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna kite shield it up and try to jump on one of the cards.
All right. Since you've doffed your shield, it is going to be an action to basically take the kite shield back out and kind of reactivate it. But with the kite shield and your ability to essentially, negate everything, you fall down and you have no issue. You're able to just get down into one of the carts. You can land on the second one where Waiyubi is. You can land on the one in front of him that's closer with this move, or you can land on the one farther back that is behind Waiyubi. Which one do you want to go for?
Go for closer.
All right, you land
And
on
as I jump,
the part in the train.
gonna do like a barrel roll and go, I'm doing a barrel roll! And
Make an acrobatics check for the quality of your barrel roll.
3.
You have a minus. You have a -1 d4. If you're looking at the black cat.
Yes. Of course I am. It's
All right. Yeah. So you got a minus d4. You should have stolen that roll. 122. It's an incredible barrel roll that you do. You jump off the roof and spin around, twisting wildly in midair, and that is going to be all for. That's going to be all for your turn, I assume, Valraith. Let's see the bonus action.
Bonus action, the glaive into, or a short bow, short bow, yeah.
All right, you kind of take the glaive and you ready it as a short bow as it zips around, and you watch as this sword just magically kind of transforms, that it kind of turns into light and then bends around, and the string just refacets and kind of connects to the bottom of it, and it becomes a pristine longbow. And each weapon that you kind of turn it into, it is glamored, for the record, in a way that you think of like what Valraith. It takes the form of what Valraith would want it to look like, essentially.
They're definitely pretty.
Oh yeah, they're flowery, elaborate. It looks of very much an elvish make, in the way it kind of curves and kind of golden filigreed leaves around the outside of it.
Let's be honest, it's not leaves.
Oh, what
it's
am I
happy
talking
little
about?
clouds.
Of
It's
course it's
happy
clouds.
little clouds.
Of course it's clouds. As we move next initiative to Diane, what do you want to do, Diane?
Diane is going to try and jump onto the cards.
All right. You will have advantage because you are not jumping from as high of a height. You don't have as hard of a target. Or actually, it's not advantage. It's just the DC is lower, rather. So if you want to go ahead and make me another acrobatics check to jump down, you got your move action there.
All right.
Are you looking at? Are you averting your eyes?
I am averting my eye.
All right. Go ahead and jump down. That is going to be a 20, which is absolutely going to succeed.
All right. Let's see. What can I do with that? It's actually like the idea.
Yeah, and then you still have your action left as you land down.
I know.
Those unarmed, yeah.
I will use bonus action bardic inspiration on Valraith.
All right, as a bonus action, Valraith, you find yourself bardically inspired. As Diane, do you sing a little melody or something like that? What's your move? What does your bardic inspiration take the form of?
I guess music. I guess.
Yeah, you kind of just sing a little bit to inspire Valraith. Excellent. And you still have an action.
Okay. As an action, I am. You know what? I'm gonna use Vicious Mockery on him.
All right, he is going to make a Wisdom saving throw, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
Yes.
13, he barely succeeds. All right, and as you kind of look over at, you're now looking at him again, as I believe you have to be a creature you can see to use Vicious Mockery, right?
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, you're once again kind of staring over at him, so he has a bonus as well, but 13 will get him there as we move next in initiative to Throom. Wait, quickly though, how do you do Vicious Mockery? Your insult?
Yeah, but they have to be able to,
What's your insult, just out of curiosity?
You're absolutely the worst thief I've ever heard.
Did you say the worst thief you've ever heard of?
Yes.
And he kind of looks back at you and he goes, but you have heard of me. As we move next in initiative to the ultimate thief setup, as we move next in initiative to Throom. What do you want to do, Throom? You're on the pipe. You can just kind of like, you were like barely hanging on. You're like 5 feet off the ground. You can just kind of let go and hop into a cart or do whatever you want, really.
Yeah, Throom is going to hop down, gather a few pebbles from the ground, and then hop into a cart. Kind of cast magic stone on these pebbles.
Is magic stone a bonus?
Yes.
Excellent.
It is basically the range shillelagh.
Of course. And so you got your magic stones. You watch as they become imbued with natural energy. You gonna fire one off? I think you can do all this in one turn.
Yes, and Throom is going to kind of bury his face into a pillow and fire a pebble at the black cat.
You're reverting your
looking
eyes?
at it. Yes.
All right, go ahead and make me an attack roll with disadvantage. 13. Woo! 13 is going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage on that. This one kind of catches him right about the jaw, and he just, come on, you guys! I'm just trying to steal some priceless artifacts. Jeez. And anything else on your turn?
No, that will be all. Still
Pretty cool.
face
Yeah, see,
pressed down into the pillow so as not to look at him.
It's very comfortable. You're in the same cart as Diane right now. Diane just watches this big elephant just flips to the side and flops down into the cart after chucking a stone that beams the black cat right in the face. And it is going to be the black cat's turn, who's riding on the front cart. And the carts here are rapidly approaching the center town square. With that, the cart that he's on, it just seems to like, they were starting to get a little bit out of control, and the wheels start to kind of like spin, and one of them breaks off, and he kind of like tumbles a little bit off. He gets thrown into the air. You're gonna go like, whoa! And then he lands on a few people that are like carrying a sheet, bounces, ends up on his feet. He looks back. Cats always land on their feet. And then he begins running into a very populated central square here in Central City. As you guys are rounding the corner, you can see all of your carts are about to crash into this cart wreck that has now appeared in front of you. Additionally, you can see as you're moving closer into the square, there's a very large statue. Oh wait, he does actually have to make his check. Let's see, because he might have to use his roll. 14, yeah, he is. Oh wait, no, he's got 2 people looking at him, so it's going to be, for what he did, it would not, 17's not, and he has the drivers as well, so he has another 2d4 from the front team that can see him. So yeah, he makes that. He's able to do what he did. And he's now in a populated square full of a lot of people that seem to be drawing his attention right now. Based on what you know about him, it looks like he might be about to be invincible. As he just ran into this populated thing, you see all of the people around him are both focusing on him, and like, you just see minor bad luck occurring to everyone around. You see people like tripping. You watch like newspapers flying in people's faces in the town square. A child's balloon gets launched off into the air. A person drops their hot dog. That's all for his turn. As you guys are coming up into a car wreck, and your horse carts are out of control. The one that is the first to act would be Waiyubi. Waiyubi, you're on the second cart. Valraith's ahead of you. One behind you are Throom and Diane. What do you want to do?
Okay, it seems like it's about time to abandon ship, so let's try to abandon ship.
All right, you're just going to try and jump off of the moving cart.
Captain.
Athletics or acrobatics? Oh.
They are the same.
I cannot see at the moment. My roll 20 is freaking out on me.
It is a
It is a
13.
13.
A 13. All right. In that case, you kind of fall out of the cart and you jump. You land, but you do kind of like scrape yourself just a little bit. It's not like a major wound, but you do take 3 points of kind of slashing damage as you fall kind of onto one knee and your leg kind of scrapes along the ground and the hard stone. But you negate a lot of the damage of the crash. And you still have an action. You kind of stand up. That was your move action. You can see him running across the square. He's in another kind of dense crowd of people at the moment who are all experiencing bad luck.
How far away would you say he is?
He is at this point maybe 40 feet away.
Excellent. I will do my old shtick of summoning forth one of my spines, breaking it off, averting my eyes, and throwing said spine.
All right, an 18 to hit. All right, 18 is going to hit. You look away and toss another javelin his way. He's starting to look pretty beat up. As you send another 6 piercing damage into him. Actually, no, that still hits him. He had basically total cover from the crowd surrounding, but that even hits through that. And the disadvantage of you throwing at a long range. And you just, oh, come on! And as he kind of like just takes a nice slice around the back of the neck. It's not, not a solid meaty blow, but definitely going to bleed a lot. And he's running forward at this point, like limping a little bit. And he seems to be going for a statue at the middle of the town. That's going to bring us back to Valraith. What do you want to do, Valraith? The carts are about to all kind of crash.
Just before it crashes, I'm gonna jump up with the kite shield, kind of see where the black cat is. Where would I be for the black cat?
Yeah, you still have the kite shield out. So you jump up to the top. You can see the black cat is towards the center of the crowd here, and there's a lot of people just having bad luck around him. So he's an easy target. He's also wearing a skin-tight black jumpsuit, so he kind of stands out.
And how far away is he?
If you're looking at him from like the apex of your jump, he's about the same as he was for Waiyubi, 40 feet.
Action while I'm up in the air. Turn my bow into. Well, let's see. I'll go with a dagger.
All right. Your bow zips into the form of a dagger. It kind of sinks down, and it becomes a cloud-embossed dagger with kind of a beautiful golden handle and a perfect silver blade.
Boom.
And you are going to go ahead and toss that. You're looking at him, right?
Yeah.
He is going to go ahead. 24. He is going to go ahead and use his reaction to take your 18. I need you to re-roll.
I got you.
Oh my god, it's a you have a minus 1d4, but that ain't gonna matter. You also in the same way, he's got all that crowd. He's got all that crowd cover and such. None of it matters. You hit him all through it with the power of the All Blade. You watch as the All Blade flies through the air, kind of spinning and landing precisely into a point on his body. And as soon as the dagger lands and strikes, and he just kind of staggers again. He goes, "Oh no!" And the blade then just kind of pops back into your hand, magically returning to you by the power of the All Blade.
And then as I am falling, I'm gonna do. Well, Oh.
You have a minus d4.
Your barrel roll is not as impressive as the last one was. You kind of do a spin, but you land. It's the kite shield, so you're good.
And then I just kind of land, fist down,
Yeah.
righteous, and get ready to jump up again.
Very, very good. Well, that's action. That's move action and regular action. So you're.
It's all my stuff's out.
That's your stuff. So in that
Thunder,
case,
you
we're
didn't
going to
roll
move on to
damage.
Diane. What do you want to do, Diane? Oh yeah, you forgot to roll damage. I was counting that 3 as the damage.
Yeah, that is true.
But the all blade does a massive amount of damage. Okay, yeah. So
Except for 1.
yeah, 8 points of piercing damage. Yeah, he's like I said, he's getting hurt.
Okay. I'm of course gonna jump off the carts.
All right, acrobatics or athletics, your choice. 17, you jump off of the cart right as they're all about to collide at the end. You kind of tuck and roll out of this catastrophe, land nimbly, and stand back up on your feet, taking no damage. Righteous.
All right.
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna put on a performance to try and draw the crowd's attention away from black cats.
Ooh, that's a cool idea. I want you to go ahead and make me a performance check. 12. Are you averting your eyes at this time?
Actually, I have to say something I just noticed. It's also a +2 bonus to damage.
Oh, because it's a
Shield, yeah.
yeah. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
It's a total of 10. Sure. So yeah, 12 performance. You're drawing the attention of the people kind of immediately near you, but the scale of the crowd is a little bit too big with that roll, and most people are still kind of drawn towards the strange jumpsuited, heavy-set individual that's running down the center here.
All right.
But you are, you're drawing a few eyes away, but it is a very dense square.
Yeah.
Anything else on your turn, Diane?
Not really.
All right. In that case, that's going to bring us on next in initiative to Throom.
Throom does not want to get into a cart crash, and so will try to leap away from the carts.
Dexterity or athletics? 11. All right. You jump out of the cart in kind of a similar manner to, before, where you saw Waiyubi do it. You're going to take the 1 point of damage as well as you kind of run out. And actually, what was the number you took? Was it 3?
It was a D6, but yeah, 3.
It was a D4 and it was a 3, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you run out and you kind of like scrape your leg a little bit, taking 3 points of slashing damage on the run as you kind of scrape your leg, but you are kind of okay on the whole. Are you still up, by the way?
Yes, I'm still up.
All right, cool. Yeah, you've taken a couple of beatings, and yeah, that's just a lot of heavy pavement hits.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? You still have your action as you kind of get out of the impending cart crash, and behind you as you jump off as the kind of last one here, you see the carts just kind of like pile up into each other. There's whinnies of horses as everything just becomes an absolute chaos behind you. What do you do with your action?
With eyes closed, he throws another of his pebbles at
All right.
the black cat.
Attack with disadvantage. Oof, an 8. Yeah, the pebble kind of flies out. It whips through the air unnaturally quick, but it just kind of dings kind of harmlessly off of another passerby that seems to like poke their head up above the crowd, and you see that guy just kind of and kind of fall over.
I wish I hadn't closed my eyes.
That makes a lot of sense. And it's now the black cat's turn. He's a little bit of a distance away from you. And he kind of steps forward and he runs up to that statue that's here in the center of town, and he just begins to call out, "Ladies and gentlemen, all right, I'm the Black Cat, master thief, legendary hero.
Well, heroes. Subjected to, there are 4 real heroes here trying to catch me. And, well, as things are about to get a little bit dicey here, I'm sure that these heroes will do all they can to save all of you. And with that, as his action, you see him kind of run up next to this huge statue. It seems to be a statue of Mayor Dorothy Parker that's here in the center of the city. And you see him just reach forward and begin putting his hand out towards it. He's going to roll a strength check. And that's going to be a 3. He's going to take that 18 that he rolled before, so that's an 18 plus 0. And then in the crowd, he rolls a 256.
Oh my.
You see around you, as he puts his hand out, an interesting series of events starts to take place. What you don't notice, up in the corner of the central square, a bird's kind of flying by, and that balloon that child let go of earlier, it just kind of flies into it, and the balloon pops. And then you see over on another part of the roof, you see a worker that's in the process of painting, and as the pop kind of startles him, he drops his paint can and it falls, causing over on this part of the roof some of the scaffolding to crash. It kind of shifts and moves, and the whole kind of scaffolding starts to bend a little bit. You see a few other workers kind of grab on and begin to hold, and this whole thing starts to bend and shape. As they kind of call out, another kind of worker up at the top, operating a crane with a big wrecking ball on it, begins to kind of like swing it around, kind of surprised and caught off guard. The wrecking ball flies around, and right as his hand makes the slightest of contact with the statue, a wrecking ball crashes into it alongside of it, and the statue begins to topple over into a crowd full of hundreds of people. And the black cat kind of steps away. I'm sure your heroes will save you from whatever impending destruction this has brought. Out of initiative, what do you guys all do to try and save this?
I attack the black cat again, as I have.
All right, you ignore the surrounding crowd. You hear
Their
people now.
endurance won't help them.
You hear now around you, various people in the crowd are kind of letting out terrified cheers. All right, you're going to attack. What is everyone else doing in this moment as the statue is starting to fall? You're acting in real time.
Roughly how heavy is this statue?
It is massive. It looks like it's probably like hundreds of pounds. What do you want to do?
Throom would like to dash forward and attempt to catch it and or push it back up onto its stand.
All right, it's going to be an immense weight. It's definitely going to hurt, but like I said, it's going to require a Herculean check to pull it off. What is everyone else doing at the same time? I assume other people are going to try and help you in some way. What does everyone else want to do? Go ahead and make me a strength check, please. All right, that's a 7. You're going to need a lot of help. What is everyone else kind of doing at this time?
Dan's gonna Loxodon to hold up the statue.
In that case, meanwhile, while you're doing this, kind of out of initiative, Valraith, what are you doing?
I'm getting ready to jump up in the air. Right after he says that, I just yell, "Timber!"
You're gonna let the crowd go? All right. In that case, you jump and fly over. Are you also just gonna try and attack the black cat?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and you and Waiyubi, go ahead and both make attack rolls.
And Waiyubi, you're first.
How far away was the black cat?
The black cat is, I mean, you can make an attack roll. He's at disadvantage because of the density regardless, so.
Bingo. In that case, instead of throwing one of my spines, I'll have a spine come out of my right arm this time, so I attempt to pierce it.
right. In that case, go ahead and well, a 10 actually. A 10 is actually going to miss in this instance.
I knew I should have gone for the net.
All right. In that case, you're gonna make your attack roll there, Valraith.
Yes. Do I need to? Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna roll it up. So that's an 11. Are you since you're looking at him?
I have that, but Bardic Inspiration is what, 1d6 or 1d4?
26.
Oh, you have the inspiration. Yep, that's 1d6. So slap that on top.
Sticking.
And meanwhile, what are you doing? What are you doing, Diane, while he's rolling that 1d6?
I am helping Throom hold up the.
You're gonna help Throom?
statue.
All right. How are you assisting? Is it just gonna be raw strength that you're trying to do?
More or less.
All right. Go ahead and make me a strength check as well.
Alright.
10. All right. Neither of you are particularly strengthened in this moment, but I think just the vision of the two of you, what happens in this instance, as the two of you kind of plant yourself down in the square as everyone's kind of running, you put yourself right in the direct line of where this thing is about to fall. And you watch as around you, people running away start to look at the two of you just like standing resolute, getting ready to receive this huge towering statue that's coming down. And you watch as some of the stronger men and women around you, all of them begin to like stand next to the two of you, like cutting a pretty imposing figure here in the square. And the audacity of trying to catch the statue. And they all, more people begin to like form up and start to like brace themselves as they're kind of like coming into the space. And the statue lands down heavy, and you see like the full swell of the crowd is all like reaching out and trying to grab it. Those that are kind of capable, like I said, the stronger men and women. As it comes down, I need both of you right in its path to make me strength saving throws to see how well you're able to hold out. Both of you have advantage because you have so many people helping you. The crowd's also just going to make a roll as a collective. You're not looking at the black cat. You're looking at the you're looking at the statue. 17.
Yeah.
And an 18. Ooh! So yeah, it comes down, and you guys are both going to take some damage. There's no two ways about that. You both have your hands extended upwards into the air, and the statue begins kind of leaning and toppling. You hear just a couple of citizens kind of calling out, "Brace!" And it crashes into the top of you, and you see all of the hands, arms crumple, a couple of people just collapse onto the ground. But both of you stand extremely tall in this moment as the statue kind of comes down and, the ground kind of cracks beneath your feet. You definitely have a couple of broken arms that you definitely both have some broken arms that Bartholomew's going to have to fix later back at the shop. You read it was part of the contract. But, and both of you are going to take, and a lot of the other crowdsmen are going to take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as this thing kind of comes down, this damage divided amongst so many arms and hands amongst the space. Are you both able to hold on after that?
No.
I am, actually.
All right, you're still up. However, Throom, you've already taken some heavy blows. As it lands on you, for a brief moment, you just kind of stand triumphant as the statue kind of stops and holds itself, and everyone in the crowd just like kind of is falling silent as they watch this line of people holding this thing up, and then everyone just kind of lugs and throws it down onto the side. And it is only after this moment of adrenaline passes that you fall unconscious onto the ground, the statue leaving an incredible imprint below. And Valraith, I need you to roll me damage on your dagger strike. 9
2.
points of damage.
+2.
All right. An additional 2 on top of that, and at this point, just kind of like baffled, the black cat's kind of continuing to run away, and people are gathering around where the statue was, and he's kind of like out in the open now, and people are not paying attention to the black cat right now. People are paying attention to the statue and to the kind of 2 heroes here that tried to protect them, as you kind of throw this dagger over at the black cat. Waiyubi, the piercing kind of spine goes out and kind of barely misses him, but then the dagger. Would you care to describe the killing blow on the black cat?
Oh, yeah. So as I throw the dagger and it spins slowly through the air, and then it just like perfectly aligns, and as it does, it goes right eye, and as it does, it just goes straight through, and it's like a pink mist as it.
And your dagger kind of flies forward. It catches him right in the back of the head, but then right as it would kind of be about to finish him off, you see he just kind of pops back up right after his whole kind of thing was about to explode, and he just kind of looks back at you and he just goes, "What do you know? 9 lives."
I think it's 8 now.
And he's kind of like looking around the space, and you see now on the outskirts of the arena, and the kind of town square here, which is starting to abandon, what looks like city guard starting to like come in from all sides, drawn by the incredible explosion. And the black cat kind of just looks down. You see him just take a couple of artifacts that he's holding. One of them appears to be a small statue of a black cat. The other one appears to be a horseshoe, and he just takes them and drops them onto the ground. And he looks over at you. Valraith and Waiyubi, who are up close, and just kind of holds out. "How about we call it a draw? Everything back in place."
Look at Waiyubi. They just want the items back. Isn't that what they said?
That is indeed the job.
You win. Let's call it a draw. You got the credit for getting it out, but we all know where this was going to end.
Of course, we knew where it was going to end, because the black cat can never be caught. And the black cat kind of runs out and away, and begins kind of moving towards the guards. And you watch as, in similar ways to you, the guards start to get bewildered by the strange bad luck curse. But he has left these 2 magical relics down upon the ground next to you, where you are free to pick them up. And he goes, "Nice to meet you. Next time, well, there won't be a next time. You'll never see me again. That's a guarantee." And he kind of, you see him actually, as he says that, kind of stumbles a little bit, completely out of character for him. And he just looks around, and he kind of keeps running off. Meanwhile, back at the statue, Diane, you're okay, but Throom, the crowd around you, I need you to make me 1 death saving throw.
Oh.
Oh my God!
Righteous.
The room stands back up.
To re-kind of describe the scene, you throw the you throw the statue kind of off and down to the side, and then you're there and you find yourself lose consciousness, and you lose consciousness still standing on your feet. And the people around you are all kind of like coming up to both you and Diane, and they're all like, "Thank you. Are you two? Is he okay?" They look to you, Diane, and Throom. You find yourself like fading into darkness, and then, no, you won't. What do you say as you regain consciousness, standing up after tanking a whole statue?
I will start with a very, very triumphant trumpet and shout out for all around, "No mere statue can stop me!"
You kind of trumpet outwards, and
As you do so, the crowd around you kind of just lets out an incredible kind of, just kind of "Roar!" as people kind of hold their hands up and all cheer out incredible victory in this moment as you guys have saved tons of lives. And over in the distance, you see Waiyubi and Valraith have both come to terms with the Black Cat. They walk back, each of them holding one of the two artifacts that were stolen from the museum. And with that, you see Mayor Parker eventually kind of comes back, moving through the crowd quickly, and she just calls out as soon as she arrives, "My statue! That's going to take... Think of all the taxpayer money that went into the creation of my statue, and now we're going to have to spend even more of it fixing it. Such a shame. What has the Black Cat done to the good people of this city? It seems all anyone wanted to do was look upon my visage, and, well, now things are ruined." And the curator kind of walks up from amongst the crowd, and he goes, Sorry we couldn't keep up. He's too quick for us, certainly. Did he get away?"
And
Unfortunately, he got away, but we did manage to retrieve the trinkets he stole.
Oh, thank God. I was afraid that bad luck curse that was promised by, the late Mayor Fourleaf, that it might, it might rack the city forever, but thanks to you, we'll know that it's safe. And he takes the two objects back. We just have to get on to repairing that mirror now. Thank you all so much. The city and the museum owe you both a debt of gratitude. And you are paid 100 Bartholomew bucks each, which means all of you now have reached level 2, a very dramatic level 1 adventure. And with that, you have completed this adventure. Congratulations, you guys.
woo!
On the bright side, they can raise taxes.
I'd like to point out that even though this was Diane's first adventure, she was actually technically level.
Oh, you were already
the
level
times
2.
we changed
Oh, of course. Well, what you gonna, my mistake, but you're still level 2, probably, in that case.
Yeah, I'm still level 2, but...
And
This
the
is
rest
still
of you are
an
level
adventure.
2. And would any of you like to shop as we finish things up here?
Indeed.
Very good. You return to the shop, and as you do so, Bartholomew kind of greets you as you all walk in. Greetings, adventurers. I trust that everything proceeded smoothly. I know it was your first time. You're kind of thrown into the frying pan, but when go back in one piece, although it looked a little bit roughed up there. And he kind of snaps his fingers, and you all find yourself in full health. Can I get any of you anything at the shop at this time?
I
would
wish
like
to
to-
take a draw of the bag.
Already come into some Bartholomew bucks. I see that can be easily done. Go ahead and roll me a D1000. He pulls out his Bartholomew's big old bag bonanza. 308. All right. Let us take a look and see what is in the bag for thee. All right. Yeah, it was 308, right? Was the number?
Yes.
All right. You reach
A
into the
rifle.
bag, and your hand passes first what appears to be a simple card, not for you, and then a glass. It's brimming over with liquid, and some of it kind of spills out. And you're like, I'm not going to get half of a consumable. You instead go for, it feels violent. The thing that you grab, it's spiky and it's kind of like moving a little bit. As you pull it out, it appears to be a flail. It's a spiked chain, and it kind of twitches kind of violently in your grasp as though it were actually alive. Bartholomew speaks up to you and says, this is the chain dancer. While wielding the weapon, you can take an opportunity attack without expending your reaction, and you can make any number of opportunity attacks as you would like, it disappeared on me for some reason. Hold on a second. Don't worry,
disappearing.
I went blind for a moment. Sometimes that happens. You can make any number of opportunity attacks you wish per round. As you
as you kind of whirl it around in what I would call a dance of death. And you've gained the Chain Dancer. Bartholomew speaks up. Yes, sometimes I go blind, and I'm never sure if it's my eyes or the world is gone. Can I get anyone?
Hope that the world isn't gone. I'm quite fond of it.
May as well. It would be a quite
So
sad
I would
thing.
like to pull from the bag as well.
A pull for you. Very good. You got to have a lot of money. And you got to shut down this black market. Usually you're supposed to only get them through me. So, and he goes ahead and presents the bag to you. Roll me a D1000. And best of luck. 547. Very good, very good. Let us see what you end up with. Your hand reaches into the bag, and you find, first it passes over what appears to be a dagger of some kind, which does not particularly interest you, and then it looks like you feel a small sort of trinket, as if it were some type of charm. That is not really your pick either. What you end up going with, it appears to be a crown of some kind. It's very cold to the touch, and as you pull it out, you see it is a solid ice crown. It's crafted from these jagged icicles, and it almost hurts to hold on to it here. And Bartholomew speaks, yes, I know. This was a favorite of Silcrest back in the day, but she only had it on one Halloween, if I remember correctly. This is the Ice Crown of Levistus. While you wear it, you gain a number of potent abilities, including the ability to cast the Ice Knife spell at will. Additionally, you can speak the command word of this crown to cast the Sleet Storm spell once in a given day. Pretty cool. You got Ice Knife all the time and Sleet Storm sometimes. And anyone else have anything they wish to purchase? And hearing no more,
Yeah.
I believe, Jeremy, it's time for us to go away to the outro screen.
Were you just saying something there, Coltspark?
Throom just kind of looks longingly at the bag and ponders how many more adventures he must go on to be able to pull some of these wondrous treasures.
4, to be precise, Bartholomew speaks, seemingly reading your mind in this moment. 4 more, that is. 5 in total. At your current tier. You get paid more as you get better, though, so make sure you climb up the leaderboards, is like I like to call them. And now, with that, we will be away to the outro screen, Jeremy.